What's going on, guys? How are you? Shocks here. Today we're going to be talking about the right way to trade a trend line strategy in Forex and in synthetic indices. So what we are going to be doing here is simple. We're going to be looking at high probability scenarios that you should see in a trade for you to enter using a trend line strategy. So what we are going to be doing is very simple. We are going to be considering trend lines that confirm the trend that we are going to be seeing. So you might be seeing a trend that looks like this, where price breaks a high by forming a new higher high, right? And you are drawing your trend line down here and waiting for price to come and retest this. So remember, we are only going to be considering the third touch of the trend line, and we are going to also consider a demand or supply zone in that area where we are going to be expecting a retest. So this is how we're going to be doing today, and I'm going to give you some rules to follow if you are going to be trading this strategy on synthetic indices. And if you don't have a synthetic strategy or synthetic account and you don't know anything out on how to trade synthetic indices, there are links in the description down below that will help you on the videos that you need to watch and on the accounts that you need to open for you to start trading synthetics like me. So let's just go right into the charts and look at what we need to look at. So this is the volatility 75 1S chart, and from what you are seeing, you can clearly see that we have an uptrend in this particular area. So what you are going to see is we have explosive moves that go and break a high after every touch of the trend line. Right, so what you are going to be doing is, this is the first touch of the trend line, as you can see, and it breaks it breaks a high, a very important swing high, this one, right? We are not considering these little boys here. We want the bigger boys, and it breaks this one. It comes back to retest the trend line again, and it breaks this bigger boss here. So what are we doing? We are going to wait for this third touch. So the third touch is going to be determined by price breaking a high or a low, right? And the highs that we are talking about those major highs or major lows that we call swing highs or swing lows, as you can see in this direction, where we are not considering any high, but we are considering these higher highs that you see as major points, as you can see here. So these are the major points that price is breaking, and this is how we are going to be dealing with this particular one. So with that being said, let's just look at some of the examples that I prepared for you. Right, number one, we have this touch, right? So this is one touch. Why? Because this is actually appearing in the same day, so we don't need to consider this twice. So this is one touch, and this touch took out this particular high, as you can see at this particular point. And the second touch that you can see is this one. And what did it do? It took out this particular low here. So remember, this is a low that was taken out, and this is a low that price took out. And it came back to the trend line, as you can see, and retested the trend line. And this is where you are going to be getting your entries, and this is where you are going to be selling this particular one and targeting and you're going to be targeting the next low, as I've shown you in this chart like this. You don't need to be trading or trend lines. So if you want to be trading trend lines, you need to make sure that you are having what you call a supply or demand zone in the area that price is going to retest your trend line, as seen in this area where we are having this big supply zone as confluence with this trend line that we have identified in this area. Then after that, what do you need to see again? If you are looking at this trend line right here, you see that this trend line has flaws, right? So what are the flaws? We were expecting that this first move take out this high, right? Then we would consider this as a viable trend line. But as it seems, this is not a very good trend line, and we are not going to be trading trend lines like that. And as you can see here, we took out this high, which is good to took out that high. And this particular one did not take out this high, so we were not going to partake in this particular trade here because of this. If this had taken out this high, it would have confirmed our trend. Okay, remember guys, if we are breaking lows, as you can see, continuously breaking these lows, we are in a downtrend. And if we are breaking highs, the opposite, we are in a uptrend. So with what you are seeing here, you can clearly see that you need price to break a low for you to confirm the downtrend that you are going to be involved in, especially when it comes to these indices that I'm showing you here. So this is what you are going to see here. We have what? We have the first touch here. We have the second touch that breaks this particular high. Then the third touch came at this particular point and did not go all the way to where we wanted it at this particular zone. So we're just going to be taken out at what? At break even, or we're going to get out with partials at this particular zone. Let's look at some examples on the what? On the volatility of 51S here and see if we can find viable setups that we can learn from. So from here, what you are seeing here, this is the best example that I had on V51. As you see, this is the same as what I had shown you on the last example, where I'm saying this is one touch, right? Then it takes out this low. When this low is taken out, when this low is down, we are looking at the next retest and the next low that is going to be taken out. So this is the next retest, as you can see. This is the next retest, and this is the next low that is out. So what are we waiting for? We're waiting for price to come back to what? To this trend line, as you can see, and we are going to be looking for what? For any supply zones that you can find in that area to use as confluence to what? To your entry that you are going to be getting at this particular zone. So after doing this on the higher time frame, we can now go to the lower time frame and find your what? And find your entry pattern. So if you go to the M15 from this particular zone, you can go and clearly see that we are going to be finding an entry pattern that looks like this, where you are going to be seeing what I've taught you for a very long time, the break of what? Of structure and what? And the retest of that particular structure, as you can see. So break, retest, this is what I have taught you on this channel. And if you don't know how to do your entries properly, there are entry videos on this channel that you can learn from and that you can understand to do well. So this is what you are doing, and this is how you are actually going to be trading your trend lines. Let's look at another example and see how best we can be trading this particular one. Right, so from what you are seeing here, this is one of those examples where it's not confirmed. Price is not breaking the what? Price is not breaking the lows as we would have wanted, right? We have this move here, not breaking any low here, but just building up liquidity at this particular zone. So we are not going to be trading this sell here because of this simple reason. So this is a very simple strategy that you can use in your trading, and this is something that that can help you with your with your waiting, with your patience and things like that. We have the first touch of the trend line on this particular zone. This is the first touch. And where is the second touch? The second touch is here, and the second break is here. Where's the third touch? The third touch comes at this particular zone, and price goes away. And if you look closely, you see that we have a very good trend line, a very good looking trend line, but not a very good trend line in this particular zone, where price is just going to retest this major trend line, but building up liquidity as it goes to that particular zone. And as price comes or approaches this trend line, you know that this is going to be a very aggressive break that goes through, and you are going to be looking at this particular zone as your as your take profit, as you are seeing there. So this is what you are doing, and price is just moving like that, as you can see. With that being said, let's look at one of the last examples that you can find here that we can use in our trading. So number one, what do you see? You see that we have first touch, second touch, third touch in this zone. Number two, what do you look for? You look for if the breaks are there to confirm to confirm the trend. And we have the breaks, as you can see here. We have first break here, second break, and we have the retest, and price is moving away like that. So this is how you can use the trend line strategy on volatilities the right way. So don't be confused. If you want to use it on boom and crash, we can look at it and see if it can be viable. So for those ones who trade boom and crash, this is what you are looking for. Trend line is this one, and price is going like this, right? As you can see, price is not respecting this first trend line that we drew, and we look for the other one. Remember, price is not going to respect every trend line that you are going to map out, and you should be able to distinguish when it is going to work and when it is not going to work, and you should be able to take a loss. So this is not very great on boom and crashes. So you have to stick to V75 1S, 51S, and volatility 75 as you trade. And remember, if you don't have an account and you like the look of these indices, you can get your account with the links in the description down below, and you can start trading with me today, and you can join our Telegram channel so that you can get free signals on this particular strategy. I hope to see you in the next video. Shocks out. Bye bye.